Hello everyone, it's Sal Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of the match preview show with myself, Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and please don't forget to smash the like on the video if you guys can do that for me. It is the match preview show for Manchester United's game against Fulham at Craven Cottage. Of course, a difficult game coming up for Man United tomorrow. It's going to be a game that, you know what, we're going to have to be up for it. We're going to have to be ready, guys, because you know what Fulham are like at home. They're going to be difficult. They've had some great results this season. They are 7 points ahead of Manchester United at the moment. And we really have to make sure that when we step onto that field tomorrow, we don't leave anything behind because you know what? They'll be ready to pounce. Fulham and Manchester United have had an endless amounts of games that have been extremely important in regards to our history. Games that have been kind of title deciders, to be honest with you. We've also, had games where, we've lost. And, recently, especially in recent history, we haven't been great. And Craven Cottage has always been a ground where we have thrived. I mean, not all the time, but we have thrived. I mean, not least a couple of games where we needed to win the title. And we made it. And we managed to win the game. I mean, for me, there's many games that come to mind, but one game that does come to mind for me was the game in 2007, wasn't it? At the end of the day, it was against Fulham and it was at Craven Cottage. And that game, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo highlighted that game, of course, with the very, very late goal. A game I was at this game at Fulham United. I remember it well. And it was absolutely euphoric day because at that point, we topped the league, and you know what? Because in the game, we didn't feel like we could win the game, because it was a very tight game. But Cristiano Ronaldo came out with a bit of magic, and the rest is history, as they say. And Manchester United went on to defeat Fulham by 2-1 and solidify our stance as title challengers, guys. So that was an absolutely fantastic game. And when I think about, these games, a little bit of nostalgia comes along, and that is what it's all about at the end of the day. Having a little belief, and having a little bit of inspiration before these games. We do need inspiration. We do need to be inspired. And tomorrow, these players need to inspire us. It's a short turnover from obviously the game against Rangers to now. We don't have much break. There's not much time, between games. We're a little bit, less preparation, if you know what I mean. So this could be an issue for Manchester United. Of course, added to the fact that we've had a couple of knocks. Some of the players are not entirely fit. And, hopefully that it will be all right tomorrow. And hopefully it'll be all right on the night, of course, guys. A late kickoff for me tomorrow, 11 p.m., of course, guys. That is 7 p.m. UK time. So, obviously, a late one for me, guys. Absolutely a late one. Absolutely. But Manchester United against Fulham tomorrow. I want to go through the game. I want to show you my lineup that I'm going to give you and also my prediction for the game. Look, you know what? It's going to be... kind of straightforward in regards to the lineup, given everyone is fit. If everyone is fit, we'll be okay. I feel like the three at the back should really pick itself, barring one or two. It is between one. It's either Maguire or Euro, in my opinion. De Ligt and Leach start anyway. De Ligt and Leach should be starting every single game now. They've more or less solidified their stance as Manchester United starters. But does Maguire start for you? Would you start Maguire? Do you think we should start him? It is obviously a very, very interesting question going forward. And you know what? He made that mistake against Glasgow Rangers, of course. The thing with Maguire is he always comes out with the odd mistake. That's his problem, and he can sometimes. It's a bit like the Bozo moment. I claim the Bozo moment because I claim it because, I credited Onana for being the bozo moment goalkeeper, the guy who has a mistake in them, when things are going swimmingly, when things are going well, you have that bozo moment where you make a mistake. He makes a mistake that cost us the game, a bit like Onana has done many times for Manchester United, of course. So, it is very interesting, of course, guys. It is very interesting. And to be honest with you, I look forward to the game tomorrow because it is a difficult game and these players will be tested. These players will be tested, of course. Big up, Michael. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Good to see you. Absolutely. Yes, I will start Maguire, Sal. You know what? It is a game that probably suit Maguire, to be honest. It probably will suit Maguire. The mistake against Glasgow Rangers obviously was a bit of a problem. He missed that chance with a header as well. But you know what? At this point in time, we do need to think about and figure out what our best centre-back partnerships are as the back three, of course, guys. Absolutely. Rasta, what's going on, brother? Sal, tomorrow is a real test. It's a proper test tomorrow. Fulham would easily win the Scottish League. And I say I go as far down as Southampton would win the Scottish League. Glasgow Rangers are not a team that you should be fearing, and it's a team that we should really be beating. I said it before the game that we should really be defeating Glasgow Rangers, and you know what we did? You know, just about, but we did. We managed to get the win, and Fulham will pose a much more difficult test. It will pose a much more difficult test, and we have to be ready for the game. These players have to show character. They have to step up. The real positive that I have about the game is that we seem to play better away from home. We seem to be struggling at home at that moment. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's a mental thing, a mental block. What's going on at United at the moment? Every time we step on the pitch at Old Trafford, we seem to be a little bit, lethargic, slow. Some, dare I say it, lazy. But away from home, pressure's off. Let's go out there and let's win the game, guys. That is what we should be doing. Fulham will pose the test. We've got a couple of games coming up, Ipswich Town and Fulham, who I believe we can get maximum points if we play to the best of our ability. But playing to our best of our ability is saying it, but another thing is doing it, of course, guys, because Man United seem to be the most inconsistent team that you've ever seen. I mean, you don't know what Man United team is going to show up, and a win tomorrow would boost the team significantly, and I hope that we do get the win, guys, because we need to move up that table. We're 13th at the moment, 13th place. I never thought I would see the day when Man United would be 13th place in January. I never thought I'd see that in my life, but it is what it is. And we have to turn the tables of starting tomorrow. No more messing about. No more rubbish. No more poor performances. No more, I'm mentally burdened by this game. We don't want to hear that anymore. Do you know what I mean? We need just a win in the game. We need Man United to do it tomorrow. And we need Man United to go out there with a full force, of course, guys. Absolutely. Fulham 1, Manchester United 2, says Michael Arter and Bruno. Ahmad and Bruno. I would love that. Any kind of win for Man United would be great tomorrow. I would take that, absolutely. Move us up that league, clear of that relegation zone, of course, guys, that everyone is worried about. Of course, we should be worried about it. We can't be complacent in life. We can't be complacent with relegation because at the end of the day, it can happen, can't it? But you know what? If we win tomorrow, we've sort of put that to bed, to be honest with you, and we do need to put that to bed pretty quickly because then we're playing Ipswich Town, of course, and we should win that game at Old Trafford. Of course, we should beat Ipswich Town at Old Trafford. Hopefully, fingers crossed, of course, guys. So when I get into my lineup, I want to get into my lineup for you guys real quickly, if you don't mind. I'm going to give you my lineup. I want you guys to let me know what you think. This is the lineup that I would go, I believe will be. Of course, guys, we're going to have Onana in goal. I mean, I would play Bayern there. But I think he's going to recall Onana. I would play Bayern there, guys, though. Absolutely. There will be Licha Martinez as the left-sided centre-back. Maguire as is a centre-back, and De Ligt as the right-sided centre-back. We'll have Mazraoui returning. Mazraoui, I believe, will return with Dalot on the left again, of course, guys. It will be Mainu and Ugarte in the midfield. Ahmad, Xerxes, and Bruno Fernandes up front, guys. So that is the team that I believe. But I've got two teams, guys. I've got another team. But the other team I feel that could play against Fulham tomorrow is Ahmad as a right wing back, Mazraoui as a right centre back, Maguire as a centre back, Licha Martinez as a left centre back, and Dalot as a left-sided wing back. Mainu and Ugarte, Garnacho, Xerxes, and Fernandes. So that is another team that could be picked. The only issue I'm having is the Onana thing. I would play Bayern there, but I believe this is the team that will be picked. This is the team that will be picked up against Fulham. I believe that this will be the team. But it could also be a team like this. All we know. The good thing about Ruben Amorim, he keeps us guessing. He does keep us guessing. He doesn't expose his team. There's no leaks, guys, which is funny, isn't it? There's no leaks. It's funny that Rashford is not around and there's no leaks. That is crazy, isn't it, at the end of the day when we think about it? But that is the team that I believe, these two teams, I believe, will be the teams that play tomorrow. I think it could be. Those will be the teams tomorrow. The last time we played Fulham, of course, it was the beginning of the season, the first game of the season, and we came out 1-0 victory with Xerxes scoring the decisive goal in the end, guys. And it was a tough game. I remember it right until the last minute. Who would have envisioned that this season would turn out so bad? After that game, it wasn't a great performance, but you know what? It was beginning of the end for Erik ten Hag, wasn't it? To be honest with you, it seems like a decade ago that we played this game. It really does. It's hard to believe that it was only a few months ago that we played Fulham in this game at Old Trafford. But you know what? We won the game courtesy of Xerxes. Xerxes started his career at Man United perfectly, scoring the only goal. And it was a good win for Manchester United, of course, guys, when we look at it. But that is the team that I would pick. When you think about my prediction for the game, I'm predicting a tough game. I really am. And I wouldn't be surprised if Man United win it by the odd goal. I think Man United will win the game by 2-1 as well. I think Man United will win the game by 2-1. I think Man United should win. I think Man United have got a habit of surprising people. They've got a habit of, turning up when you least expect them to turn up. And you know what? That is one thing about Man United. They win games. You think, oh, we're going to struggle in this game. I think Man United win the game. The most important thing for us right now, the priority is to move up that table and just clear ourselves of that danger area. Because obviously there are a number of murmurs in the Manchester United fan base. Oh, we're in the relegation zone. We're going to get relegated. I don't think we're going to get relegated. Of course, anything is possible, guys. In football, you never know. You can't be complacent in football. But one thing I would say is that, you know what? I think we're too good to go down. I mean, I know that's been said before. But I think Man United, if we win tomorrow and we end up winning against Ipswich Town, 36 points will be safety, and Man United will be safe from danger, in my opinion. Humbles of opinion, of course, guys. Absolutely. Michael, you said 2-1. Michael said 2-1. Sally, I believe you picture today's Man United as yesterday's Man United. You have to look at the players and not the club. These players are different. I don't picture Man United anything, Lutata. I'm very realistic when it comes to Man United. You're an irritant, mate. You just come on here just to say silly things, at the end of the day. And you're going to say another silly thing. Sal, these strings might be small and might have 1-0 anything, but might not be Man United status, but they are better than Man United. Who says anything about these teams being small, Manatata? No one said anything about, you don't know nothing about Fulham, Manatata. You don't know nothing about Fulham. Maybe you should follow the Bengal Tigers or something, because you don't know nothing about Man United, that's for sure. And to be honest with you, you come on here with your crap, you're going to get blocked, mate. Absolutely. Margo, Sal, where Casemiro in the starting lineup against Fulham? No Casemiro in the starting lineup. It will be Ugarte in the starting lineup with Matata. No, there's another Matata, 2 Matata. Sal, if Spurs are entertaining even when losing, then we are unpredictable and uncertain. That's a more balanced comment, of course, guys. This Matata, you got to sort out the 2 Matatas in your stream. There's 2 Matatas here. One of them's going to get blocked. It's either you or the other one, mate. You got to sort it out, man. You got to sort it out. There's too many. I don't like trolls in this stream. You got to sort it out, absolutely. Otherwise, you're both going 3-2 United. Absolutely, Kamala. That would be good. That would be good, my friend. I would take that all day long. Absolutely, I'll take that all day long. I'll take a 3-2 win. I will do. And to be honest with you, all day long, I would take that, and I would like that. I don't care if we win 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, 4-3. As long as we win the game. And no one is underestimating Fulham. I know people are coming on there with their trollish comments saying that I think Man United are Man United of the past and stuff like that. Just because you wasn't there in the past, just because you don't understand what Man United are about. You never seen Man United at their prime. I've seen everything. And you know what? I can predict a game better than you, mate. You know what I mean? So let me predict the scores. And you know what? Go ahead and just talk your trollish, making fake accounts. Of course, guys, it's not about that for me. It's all about educational opinion on here and constructive opinion on here. You know what I mean? Not irritable opinions. That's not what it's about at the end of the day. And you know what? I'm not having any Matata 1, Matata 2, Matata 3. Do you know what? I don't care, mate. You need to sort your life out if you've got more than one account. You know what I mean? Commenting on here. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. So apart from that, the press conference has been said. Ruben Amorim has been speaking a lot, of course. He is fed up with the press conferences as well, guys. But let me bring this in for you. I'm going to bring in the press conference from Ruben Amorim, of course. Let me just play this for you real quickly, and then let me know what you think.
you obviously have a very strong team spirit as this comeback show and other games. Is that sort of an element that gives you belief that you can do what you need to do here? Because without that sort of togetherness, you've got no chance.
It also depends of the leader, of the coach. I'm a lot like that, and I think we need that to create that feeling of belonging. But for that, we need also time to train, because to stay together, and that is really important. And then we don't have that I don't know the name here, internship, like sleeping before the matches. Sometimes that detail is really important. Pre-season, creating like spending like 3 weeks together, creating something, and then you want to create something new. The players, I want them to know me in a different way, not always preparing the matches with stress. We don't have the time to do that. So I think it's really important, and I think it's the secret of teams. Even when you have the best players, if you don't have that feeling, it's really hard to win. So I want to build something like that here, but we need time for that.
Exactly, that is what it is. Look, we didn't have a preseason, so what Ruben Amorim is doing right now is this is basically his preseason. So when you look at the team right now, you know, it isn't there. It isn't his team. He's trying to implement a difficult tactic, a tactic that is unique to him, to his style, with players that are not his. And this is the tricky thing. This is one thing about it. Not only that, he's having to deal with this off-field issues. He's having to deal with a poor, a transfer window where nothing is happening at the moment, And this is the problem with it. And this is the problem that we're facing at the moment. And obviously, Ruben Amorim deserves praise for that. He does deserve praise for that. And to be honest with you, he's absolutely spot on. We haven't had them weeks together. They haven't had them weeks together where they could build some sort of camaraderie, with each other and create a team spirit. These little things, these details, sleep, as he was talking about, these details are so important in football that they get underrated. They get underestimated. The time between Glasgow Rangers now and Sunday, is so short in a footballer's life. In football, it is a short amount of time. It's a bit like playing in an international tournament, where you got a game then on a Monday, then you got a game on a Thursday. It's difficult, really, to really, get prepared for these games. And one thing about Man United, what's happening right now this season, is that we are not 100% prepared. We don't know which players are the ones that we need, the ones that need to go, the bad apples, the good apples, stuff like that. When Ruben Amorim is learning on the spot. He's learning as you go. It's a bit like starting a job and you're thrown in the middle. You haven't had any training, nothing. And you say, right, learn on the job. That's what you need to do. And that is what's going on with Ruben Amorim at the moment. And, I think that we need a little bit of understanding here. Many people are coming out with a lack of understanding of what top level football, how important it is to have a pre-season, to have, a time together, to build a little camaraderie, to build a team ethic, to build a relationship between the players. That's what we need at the end of the day. That's what we need. And we haven't had that. And I think it's very, very important, of course.
Casemiro's been an unused sub in 10 of the last 13 matches. I just want to know why he's lost maybe getting these opportunities on the pitch.
He has to be the characteristics, and then I have to choose the player with characteristics that I see the game. So it's just that. So I have to make some choices. I want to play a style of game that sometimes is different from other coaches, and I have to choose based on that. That's all.
That's very interesting, guys. That one is very interesting. He has to show the characteristics, Casemiro. So Casemiro is not showing the characteristics as a Man United player. Isn't that a little bit damning that the guy who's getting paid the most, 370,000 a week, is not showing characteristics, Manchester United characteristics? Don't you think that's a little bit damning? Don't you think that's a little bit crazy? At the end, don't you think it is? And I like what Ruben Amorim, the way Ruben Amorim comes across, he's very honest. And he doesn't go over the top, but he doesn't sugarcoat anything, which I like. He doesn't sensationalize anything, which I like. But he's honest, he's truthful, And I like this about Ruben Amorim, and I think that may it continue, because at the end of the day, people are going to ask the question, why isn't Casemiro playing? Why is it? Well, he doesn't have the personality. He doesn't have the characteristics. We all know what Casemiro is. We know that he's a generational. We know that he was one of the best CDMs in the past 10 years. We know that. But at the end of the day, he's come to Man United like he's on a holiday. You know, he's played one good season, and then other than that, he hasn't done anything in a Man United shirt of significance. He's had one good game in 10 every single time, and we can't, as a football club, afford to carry players. You know, just because you've won 5 European Cups doesn't mean that you can come to Man United and you can down tool and you can like, I'm Casemiro, you can't say anything to me, and you know what, I've won it all, you know what, and just pretend and just be on holiday. You can't do that at Man United. We need characters. We need people who are going to turn up for us. We don't care if you are Collier or Casemiro. It doesn't matter. We just need people who are going to wear the shirt with pride, put the effort in, and give 100% every single time, regardless of, you know, how many trophies you've won in the past. I'm not interested in what you've won at Real Madrid. I'm not interested. I'm interested in Manchester United. That's what I'm interested in at the end of the day, guys. Let's carry on.
Any more for Fulham?
Took Lenny and Martinez Slit off. Are they likely to be fit, or are they going to?
I don't know. Lenny has a pain. Also, Mata. I think Mata was a bruise, a touch. Lenny was a little bit tired. He's playing more in this moment, so we have to be really careful. We'll see. I don't know.
You expect Luke Shaw? You said last week he'd be playing within 2 weeks.
No, he's going to stay to be fit to train with the team. Then we have to start with small minutes. We don't have a lot of time to train. We have to put some in some exercises in 10 minutes. Then he has to make extra work to improve his fitness. So I don't know. It's 2 weeks to start training and to start thinking about putting him in the few minutes.
So Luke Shaw, of course, still not fit. Still not fit, by the way. Luke Shaw needs to work with the team. Well, he's fit, but he's not match fit, so to speak. So we need to get Luke Shaw match fit, don't we? You know, and because at the moment he's not, and he needs to be. And it has been a long time since Luke Shaw has been fit, and it is frustrating, of course, because we don't have a left-sided player. Of course, we might have one at the end of this window. It does look like Man United may overpay for Dorgu. I don't agree with overpaying for Dorgu. I don't. But it looks like that could possibly be the case, that we do overpay for Dorgu. And to be honest with you, that shouldn't be happening at Man United. We should just go after Alvaro Fernandez, Carreras. That's what we should be going after. And that's what we should do. Cheap and cheerful, of course. Darren, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well, sir. I'm just hoping Amorim get 100% back in front of the board. Me too, Darren. I like Ruben Amorim. His personality is fantastic. He says the right things. He's honest. I love this about Ruben Amorim. I really do. And you know what? He deserves the backing. He's left a Champions League side in Sporting Lisbon to come to Manchester United. And at the moment, what we see right now is that he's not being backed, which is disgraceful. He needs to be backed. Otherwise, we're going to be in the same position as we've always been, guys. You know, and to be honest with you, he's got 1 week. We've got 1 week and a half until this window closes. And we have to wait and see, of course. Who is Luke Shaw? Absolutely, Darren. Who is Luke Shaw at the end of the day? You know what I mean? I've forgotten about Luke Shaw. Oh, goodness me. Is he a skydiver? What is he? I don't know. You know, I've never heard of the guy. I mean, honest to God, in all seriousness, this is the problem at Man United. What players like this on astronomical wages who are not playing football, given new contracts for absolutely no reason, even though they're not playing football. These players need to be out of the football club, completely out, washed and go. No shampoo. Absolutely wash and go. That's what we need to do. Wash our hands with them, and that's it. That's what we need to do at the end of the day. Rasta. Now, Luke Shaw is going to be out again when he gets fit. Absolutely, Rasta. That's what's going to happen. And wait until the World Cup starts, right? The World Cup will start, and Luke Shaw miraculously, after a year hasn't played football, will be fit for England. That's what he does. That's what this is about. He doesn't care less about Man United. He's been told, sit down, relax, and you know what? Earn your money, don't play for Man United. The great thing about Ruben Amorim, which I like, and I mentioned it earlier, is that even if the player is injured, he takes them to games. He takes the injured players to games. Players like Mason Mount, players like Luke Shaw, they go to games. They'll be at the game against Fulham. The reason why is because these players feel when they are injured, they get a weekend off. They get the weekends off, guys. They get the weekends off. So Ruben Amorim has clocked onto this. He's clocked onto this, and you know what? He's put an end to it. So all these players need to come to the games, of course, guys, which is very, very interesting, and I like that very much, of course.
And could you just say a word about the importance of Bruno Fernandes's team, because there's a lot of players coming in, but he's your captain, he's your leader, and he's good.
I think he's a top player, and then people talk a lot about his frustration and always with his arms in the air, and sometimes it's not a good thing to see, but you have to see the other side. When you are under pressure, he always the guy that wants the ball, is always available, and that is so important, especially in Premier League. And then he can run, and he run a lot, he fights a lot. So you have two sides, and I have to help him to manage both situations. But we are lucky to have a player like Bruno Fernandes. Sometimes he made mistakes, like me in the last week, but he's really important, and he has passion, and this is so important to be a football player.
James.
Ruben, just on Marcus and easing him back in, is it fair to say he'll be staying at this football club this month, or he won't be going out now?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But if he does stay, there's no you're going to reintegrate him.
Guys, it's 8 days. 8 days. We'll see in the end of the window what happened, and then we'll talk about that in the moment.
Last question, Chris.
Hi, Ruben. You played outside in goal tonight after Andre's error against Brighton. Is it still a case of one keeper, two keeper, or is it a more even fight now between them?
No, it's always an even fight, but this was rotation, was prepared. I also think about the mistake, and then trying to the idea that I sent to you guys and to the fans, but the rotation was done, everything was prepared, and we deal with that normally. So we were thinking that to have two really good goalkeepers, they need time to play. They need the space in the team. So this rotation was prepared, but that mistake was my concern. But in the end, we continue with the same plan that we did last week.
Over the Arsenal game, the game tonight, do you think Altay has put himself now in a position where the picture has changed slightly, maybe?
Well, I see him in the same way. He's prepared to help the team, and that is the most important thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that was Ruben Amorim, his press conference for Fulham, guys. Yeah, I mean, nothing too serious. So obviously, like, you know, you see the media, they're a bit like vultures, ain't they? Hyenas, you know, coming at Ruben Amorim. They're waiting for that mistake, ain't they? They're waiting for that one mistake so they can jump on him, they can get him, and they give him the lowdown and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And that's one thing I don't like about these press conferences. There's too many at one. Of course, this press conference was done after the Rangers game. They don't do separate conferences. They do it on the same conference. So it is very strenuous, these conferences, guys. These conferences, it is very strenuous in regards to, you know what, having to calm your emotions and, you know what, speak about a game that you've just finished the game. Then you have to speak about the Fulham game coming up. It's very difficult. And obviously, Ruben Amorim did mention this. He did mention this about before when he started his tenure as Man United manager, about how there's too many conferences, there's too many of them. There needs to be less conferences. There needs to be less, you know, of these press conferences. And I agree with him. I absolutely agree with him. I think there are too many. I really do. I think they need to calm down on these press conferences. And I feel like, you know, we need to stop them, to be honest, guys. I really do feel that way. I feel like we need to stop them and, you know, not stop them completely, but maybe have less press conferences, because I feel like they really interfere in the training. They really are time consuming, because it's not only the pressers, it's also other media companies that have these press conferences, etc., on other channels, MUTV, BBC, ITV. You got all these channels doing press conferences, and it must be very strenuous. I mean, I can only imagine, but that is obviously the whole part of being a Manchester United manager, isn't it? Now, tomorrow it is Fulham. We are ready for the Fulham game. Of course, I wish it was tonight. Of course, guys, I really do wish the game was tonight. Unfortunately, it's not. It's on tomorrow, but we are ready. Absolutely, we are ready. Big up, Darren. Big up, my friend. We are ready for this game. And to be honest with you, I'm confident that Man United win the game by 2-1. You know what? I feel like Man United might turn up tomorrow. I've got this feeling that we're going to turn up tomorrow. No, I'm not underestimating Fulham, as one person said in the stream earlier, that I'm underestimating Fulham, and Man United are not that team anymore. And Man United will always be Man United, and Man United should always expect to win. Always expect to win, you know, regardless. And to be honest with you, as a Man United fan, I don't predict that we're going to lose ever, no matter where we are in the league, no matter what we are, because at the end of the day, as long as we have a high standard that these players have to follow, you know, we all have to have high standards. The board have to have high standards. The players have to have a high standard. The manager has to have a high standard. Where do we go by being doom and gloom, saying that, oh, we're not that team anymore. We're not that team anymore. Where do we go by that? How does that help this football team? You know, stop living in the past. Our past is what makes us. Our past is the reason we are here. That is big. Our past is everything. We still celebrate our past to this day. We still have, so we got the 1958 memorial coming up. You know what I mean? Every single year we do that. You know what? Is that not important? Is that not important to some fans? They think, oh, stop living in the past. The only reason they say that is because they don't relate to the club. They don't understand what the club is all about. They don't understand our history. At the end of the day, some things are more than just what you feel right now at the end of the day. Oh, we won it. We've seen it and won it all. The Man United would never stop. Absolutely, Rasta. Why has Rasta got high standards? Why have I got high standards? It's because we understand who Man United are. We understand who our past. We understand where we came from. We understand the success, the sacrifices that this team, Manchester United FC, made all those years ago for us to be on this pedestal now, for us to be having this expectation now. That is what it's all about. So I don't want to hear anyone coming on this stream talking about stop living in the past. You stop talking about we're not that team anymore. My goodness me. My goodness me. How are we supposed to progress if we have such loser mentality like that? I want to know, because at the end of the day, that if we carry on that way, we're not going to win anything. Trust me, the fans, the energy around the stadium means a lot. It's everything. As we can implement this positive energy into the team at the stadium, make the stadium intimidating again, make Old Trafford a fortress again. That's what we need to do, because at the moment, teams are rocking up to Old Trafford and expecting to win, you know, expecting an easy game. Now, we're going to Fulham tomorrow, Craven Cottage, difficult place to go, show character, win the game and win the next game. Just go on a run. It's been a long time since we went on a great run of games where we've won in a row. It's been quite a while since we've done that. It seems like years since we've done that, isn't it? I think the last time was under Eric Ten Hag. I think he won 4 or 5 in a row, if I'm not wrong, 6 in a row, if I'm not wrong. But that was the last time. We used to do this all the time under Eric Ten Hag, under Alex Ferguson, of course. We used to do this thing all the time, guys. You know, all the time. We used to do this thing. And to be honest with you, you know, I don't want to hear anything negative, of course, in regards to losing. 13 league titles, 3 Champions League titles, 13 FA Cup titles, 6 FA Cup, 1 Europa League, 1 League Champions League Cup, 1 Intercontinental. And don't forget, Rasta, 20 titles altogether. The Premier League came in 1992. We won leagues before then. We got 20 times. We are the most successful team in England. Now, Liverpool have won 1 Premier League title or league title in 30 years now, for over 30 years, guys. They've won 34 years, 35 years. They've won 1 league title, right? 1. If we're going to narrow it down to Premier League titles, they've won 1 Premier League title. They've won 19 leagues altogether. Where before the Premier League existed, it was the old Division 1. They've won 19 league titles altogether, 1 Premier League title. But all in all, they've won 1 league title in 30 years. Absolutely. You will always walk alone, Liverpool. As Rasta says, you will always walk alone. That is what Liverpool is at the end of the day. They've got a long way to catch up to our Premier League title. Of course, they're hot on the heels of our league title, and they'll probably win that. Sadly, they might win the league title this season and equal our league title tally. That's a shame. But that doesn't stop, even if they win the league this season, that doesn't stop it being 2 league titles in 35 years, which is atrocious. You know, they have nothing to say. They have nothing to say. But you know what? One thing I would say about this is that these players need to go and look at this. I'll grab them by the head and say, look at this. Man United were the top dogs in English football, and Liverpool are about to equal our league tally. What are you going to do about that? Next season, what are you going to do about that? Are you going to just let it happen? Are you letting it happen? The history of this football club, you know, the history of this football club, you know, you're just going to let them win a league title, you know, and you're not going to come back next season. I hope we do come back next season, of course. Big up, Sam, going with a 2-1 Man United, Ahmad and Bruno on the score sheet. Big up, Kenny. I'd go with something similar. I'll go with that. I say 2-1. I do think Man United will score. I do think that Ahmad will score as well. I think Bruno has a good record against Fulham, if I'm not mistaken. I do believe that. So, you know, we're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully we win the game, of course, guys. Absolutely. 2 Club World Cups, I think. Yes, we won the 2000 World Cup Championship by beating, if I'm not correct, it's either Corinthians or Palmeiras. We beat Palmeiras. I think 2008, I think we beat Palmeiras, or we beat them once, and Corinthians, another was Sao Paulo, one of those teams, of course, guys. But yes, we have won the equivalent of the World Championship twice, you know, absolutely twice. So, yeah, Man United, I won it the most. Yeah, Man United, I believe I won it the most, if I'm not mistaken. They will always walk alone, Rasta. Absolutely, bro. They will always walk alone, of course. And you know what? Let this win by Liverpool. Let this title win, which is, you know what, inevitable that they're going to win the title this season. I can't see anyone catching them. It pains me to say it. It really does hurt me to say it, but I can't see anyone catching them this season. And you know what? Let this be an inspiration. Let this be, you know, something to motivate these players. If anything is going to motivate these players, Liverpool winning the title. Let us come back next season and let us show that we can win back our title and regain our status as the top dogs in English football. That's what we need to do. Use this as inspiration. You know, use it on your side. Don't use it as a negative. You know, at the end of the day, we're going to feel it. They're going to celebrate it, Liverpool. They're going to celebrate it. They will be the most successful team in England now because they won all those Champions Leagues. You know, they're going to say we've won all these Champions Leagues, and they got a point. Now, it's up to us to come back next season. That's what we need to do, of course. Next season, Liverpool ain't winning anything. Kenny, we will be back next season. Remember these words. We will be back next season. It'll be completely different vibe, guys. Completely different vibe, of course. Next season, I want us to destroy Liverpool. I do as well. Next season, we will. We will be back and we will regain our title. Don't worry. I got this feeling. Man United under Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim is the right guy. Ruben Amorim says all the right things. I think give him a chance. Give him the backing. He will be that guy for us to take us forward. I really do think that we've got the cream of the crop here. I really do. You know what? Some people want to doubt him. Some people say tactics this, tactics this. At the end of the day, you know what? He's trying to implement the tactics that work. He believes it's going to work. I believe it's going to work. And if the players don't want to play in those tactics, we all know where the door is, don't we? They need to get out. And that is what it is at the end of the day. Yeah, because of FSG ownership. And this is one thing I was saying. One thing I was saying is that people saying, "Oh, you know what? Why don't we get these owners out of the football club?" If these owners, the Glazers, you know, they have. To be honest with you, if they had the Glazers, they wouldn't be able to get rid of the Glazers. No one will be able to get rid of the Glazers. We are just unfortunate that we have this virus called the Glazers. You know. No one would be able to get rid of the Glazers. And I want to bring this back into the show, guys, because I played this earlier, but I want you to listen to what he says. This is Robbie from AFTV via That's Football, obviously Mark Goldbridge's channel, of course, guys.
I can't believe that Manchester United are trying to sell Garnacho. The Glazers are some of the smartest guys I've ever seen. The way they have managed to position these Ineos guys to take all the flack and they just chill out back in America. It's crazy. Put it this way, when Arsenal play Manchester United, one of the players I fear is Garnacho. He's a player that I'd have at Arsenal. I think he's a really exciting player. He's still raw. He reminds me a lot of Martinelli, actually. He's still raw, but he's got the potential to be a really, really top player. To Chelsea as well. Even if he went abroad, I get that possibly. Still be annoyed if I was a United fan. But to Chelsea, I saw the rumours at first and I'm thinking, it's just paper talk. But this looks very serious. And I just get the feeling that Amorim, it's not an Amorim thing, especially when you see some of the players that you do need to sell. All still there. And then also the thing that baffles me as well, if Rashford's going, then he's going, Garnacho's going. That means if anything happens to Ahmad, who's going to be those wide players? It's astonishing. I don't know, Ineos, I don't know why. I don't think they're doing a great job, I have to say.
There you go, guys. I don't think they're doing a great job either. And that is from Robbie, and that is from an Arsenal fan. That is from an Arsenal fan. And Arsenal, they're partial, obviously, they're impartial. They're impartial with the opinions, and they you know what, they're not going to be biased and stuff like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. The walking Mortiza is waffling. He speaks a lot of truth, though, Kenny. He speaks a lot of truth. He's absolutely right at the end of the day. Yeah, he's absolutely right. He's spot on. And it's about time that some of our fans realize what he's saying, that he's absolutely correct. The one thing I've noticed about Robbie, he does speak a lot of sense. But you know what? And he is an Arsenal fan. And that is damning, to be honest with you, that he's speaking facts. And he's an Arsenal fan, of course, guys, because, it's sad that some of our fans are still backing and trusting this regime. One thing, you don't walk into hell blind. You don't trust people who you don't know. Remember, billionaires are dodgy. Every single billionaire is dodgy, and you can't just trust them at a sixpence and that's it. You trust them, but they trust the ownership, and that's it. And that's the problem. Man United are burdened by this ownership. Man United have problems with ownership. I know what's going to happen in this window. What's going to happen is that we sign Dorgu, we overpay, and that's it. And that is what's going to happen. And that they're going to say, oh, we got a new signing. And unfortunately, some fans will get excited about that, Barada madness, stuff like that. And we all know that it's nowhere good enough, guys. It's nowhere good enough to where we need to be. Man United need more. And Man United shouldn't be overpaying for players that are playing for a relegation fodder in Italy, like Lecce. Man United should be paying 20 million euros, 25 million euros top. That is what they should be playing for. That is how much that Brighton, that's how much West Ham will pay. But Man United tax comes into play, of course. Lecce sold a player to Sporting Lisbon for 20 million euros. Jormund. Is it Jormund? 20 million euros, a Norwegian international. Man United were linked with him, of course, in the summer. 20 million euros for him. And then, you know what? They want to charge Man United for an unproven player 40 million euros. It's stupid, isn't it? It's stupid, and it is Man United tax, of course. I was even propping this guy needs help. He's not propping them. He's not propping them, of course. And he's not propping them. No one's propping. He's not propping them. He's criticizing them. He said they're not good, Kenny. He said they're not good. Guys, I'm going to bring this in. He said he's not good. He said Ineos are not good. That's what he said. Ineos are not good. And I agree with him, to be honest with you. I agree with him.
I can't believe that Manchester United are trying to sell Garnacho. The Glazers are some of the smartest guys I've ever seen. The way they have managed to position these Ineos. I can't believe.
Sorry, guys. I'll get that in a minute. Anyway, but let me carry on with this, guys. Absolutely. Big up everyone for absolutely. How you doing? Big up, Pearl. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you back, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see the legend back in the stream. Yeah, look, Robbie's criticizing Ineos. He's not praising them. He is right about the Glazers. The Glazers have played a masterstroke, and you know what? They're washing their hands. You know what? They're letting Ineos do all the dirty work. Of course, that's what they do. And that is what we have to wake up to, the fact that Ineos is Glazers 2.0. They're the Glazers puppet. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and we have to admit that. We do have to admit that. And you know what? The most important thing and the most enlightening thing in life is acceptance. That this is what it is. This is how it is. And to be honest with you, big up Danny B. What's going on, Danny? Hope you're doing well, Danny. Hope you're good. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Good to have you back on the stream, my friend. Hope you're good. So, look, you know what? The most important thing for me going forward is football. Football. And it is Man United versus Fulham tomorrow. And it's about the win tomorrow. That's all I'm after tomorrow. I'm all about the win. I'm all about that base. I'm all about that win. That's all I'm all about. It's Man United winning the league, winning the games, or winning the league. Goodness me. Can you imagine winning the game tomorrow? That's what it's all about, guys. Absolutely. I don't care how we win the game as long as we win the game. Fulham will be up for it. We need to be up for it, guys. We need to be up for it, of course. Guys, I want to show you something real quickly in regards to something that I saw earlier today. Of course, I want to know what I want to know. Absolutely. Let me have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. If I can find it, I'm going to play it for you guys real quickly. If I can find it. Maybe this is an omen, guys. Maybe, just maybe, this is an omen. Okay. Let me just see if I can find it, though. I need to find it for you guys, and then I'm going to share it. Yeah, so here we go, guys. Here we go. Come on, guys. Like, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share this for you guys. 1 second. Let me get rid of this. I'm going to share this for you. Maybe this is an omen, guys. Just maybe this is an omen. This is Muniz of Fulham. Look at this. Let's play it back, guys. Let's play it back. Look. Whoops. This is Muniz of Fulham, guys. CCTV footage. He's injured himself. Is this an omen? Look at that. He twisted his knee bad there, didn't he? He twisted his knee bad there. Look at that. Oh, dear. Look, he won't play in the game tomorrow, guys. That is, look at that. Deary me. What a shame. What a shame. Look at that. We'll miss the game tomorrow. Sad, sad, sad. When you see that happening 24 hours before a game, what can you say about that, guys? Absolutely sadness, isn't it? Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart, of course. Guys, you know what? That is funny. That is funny. And you know what? He could be injured, of course, guys. Absolutely. Danny B, any word on £9 sale? Pissed we're not getting him. At the moment, Danny B, it looks like he's talking to Man City and he's talking to Arsenal. You know what? If I was a betting man, I'll say he was going to Man City, if I'm being honest. And to me, that disappoints me because he's a Man United fan. And you know what? We should be all over that deal. We should be all over that deal. But obviously, Ineos have different plans. They have cheaper plans. They have budget plans. That's their plan at the end of the day, sadly. You know, and we're not getting a great player like him. And he's going to be a great player at the likes of Man City and Arsenal. We'd be the new De Bruyne, trust me. You know, and you know what? We're missing out on another gem. We're missing out on another gem, sadly. You know, and it drives me mad. You know, we're just sleeping in this transfer market, of course. Manchester United is my heaven. Absolutely. Big up Rasta. Big up yourself. Of course, Rasta, 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kamali, I think 15 million, actually. 25 is too much. And how much individual awards has Dorgu won? Absolutely, Kamali. Absolutely. We're getting overpriced. We're getting mugged off in this transfer window. Walk away. Get Fernandes. Get Carreras, that player. Get him, Alvaro Carreras. Get him through the door. Get him. We got a release clause on him. Real Madrid want him. Barcelona want him. Let's go and get him instead. Let's go and get him instead. Because at the end of the day, you know what? Dorgu, thank you, Lecce, but no thank you. Walk away. Walk away and get another player, of course. Absolutely. Thank God I don't have him in my fantasy. Absolutely. That was a bad twist, though. He's going to be out for a few weeks, of course. Bang on time for the Man United game. Maybe luck is starting to turn for us, of course. City will loan him back to Spinios. Cheap what swines. Absolutely, Danny. Absolutely. That's probably what they'll do. That's probably what they'll do. Absolutely. Jokers. Get Alvaro. Absolutely, Danny B. Big up Danny B, of course. And get absolutely Alvaro Cherokee 40, 50, 45. Absolutely. Danny B, even if we look at Dorgu and we look at his price, 10 million more, we can get Xerxes, who's a proven Premier League player, 21 years old. You know, at the end of the day, what are we doing? Are we just like tunnel visioned? We don't see left or right, above or below. We just go forward and that's it. Dorgu. That's it. That's all we're going for. You know what? We need to expand our horizons a little bit. There are more left wing backs in Europe around. Young ones in Europe around. That's what we need to do. I've mentioned plenty on this channel. Plenty. Go after them. Look, You did a great job, Ineos, when you walked away from the Jareth Branthwaite deal. Well played. You got Euro instead. But what I'm saying is this, right? You need to do the same with this Dorgo deal and move on to Fernandes quickly before he goes to Real Madrid or Barcelona. And we're going to be in a couple of years. Do you remember when we could have got, Fernandes back? We shouldn't have got rid of him in the first place. Absolutely. Did Nunes just injure himself? No, it was Muniz. Muniz of Fulham. Muniz of Fulham. It was Muniz of Fulham. Sorry, the thing is a bit slow today, so I'm just trying to get this up. Yeah, Kenny looks like it. It was Muniz, my friend, Muniz of Fulham. That's what I'm saying. It's a good thing for Man United. Maybe luck has turned into Man United's favour. That's what I'm saying. Maybe luck is our favour, is in our favour, of course, guys. That he won't be playing for tomorrow. Looking at that looks like a pretty serious injury, guys. I wouldn't be playing him tomorrow. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That looks like a pretty serious one. That does. Absolutely, Kenny. Big up. Yeah, so he looked good in the Barca match the other day, even though they lost. Yeah, they did. They lost 5-4, didn't they? Bloody hell. That was a game and a half. Should have won that game. Weren't they 4-2 up? And then they end up losing 5-4. Unbelievable. What a game that was, though. That was a classic, isn't it? But Benfica will be Benfica. They're not a strong team like that, are they, at the end of the day? But what I would say is, great player. Wouldn't mind him at Man United. Definitely not. Absolutely not. It'd be great to have a signing like that. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Shouldn't have never sold him in the first place. Absolutely, Rasta. Poor decision making. Poor decision making. The Kovar deal, the VTech deal, these deals we've been doing for years, it's poor decision making at the end of the day. And I don't know why we got rid of these players, to be honest with you guys. I don't know. I mean, Fernandes, anyone could have told you that. The whole fan base were telling Ineos, and not Ineos at the time, but it was Murta and Woodward, not to get rid of him. He's a good player. Don't get rid of him. It'd be a mistake. And lo and behold, it is a mistake that we got rid of him, of course. A bit like Angel Gomez, isn't it? Years ago, I was talking about Angel Gomez. We shouldn't get rid of Angel Gomez. We need to nurture these players and blah, blah, blah. And look now, we're trying to get Gomez back now. You know, Gomez is an England international. We're trying to get him back now, where many of us foresaw his talent a long time ago. Do you know what I mean? A long time ago. So, yeah, Man United have been run really badly over the last 11, 12 years, of course, guys. So, you know what? Well, it is what it is. Absolutely. Big up, man, then, by the way. Thank you so much for joining the stream, you legend. Thank you so much, of course. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Thank you. Of course, guys, don't forget to spread the Stretford Post word, guys. The Stretford Post word. Don't forget to spread the word and keep it Stretford Post, guys. Absolutely. Where you get the latest and the greatest, guys. Absolutely. And it's you know what? It's a great channel, a great community we have here. And I really enjoy the community here. It's a fantastic community. You know what? And I'm proud of this community. Absolutely. Absolutely. Danny B, we had to sell him because of FFP. None of the Deadwoods should leave. Slab rejected West Ham. That's the problem. But you know what? One thing we could have done, we could have sold a couple of youngsters to override that, Danny. We could have sold another couple of youngsters. We shouldn't have sold. I wouldn't have sold Fernandes because we needed a left back. Anyone could have said that. You know, I wouldn't have sold. To be honest, you know, it was a bad decision and we shouldn't have done it. And there we are. You know, now we're getting him back and we're still worried about FFP. You know what? One thing I would say, guys, and I'm going to say it right now, right? One thing I would say is that if Man City, right, get found not guilty in regards to the charges against 115, you might as well quit all these rules and just do what you like to do because you're not going to get punished. You're not going to get punished. So let's wait. If Man City get not guilty in these charges, we do what we like. Because then, if they're not guilty, that totally ends the PGMO. Ends it completely because no one is going to take them seriously again. No one. So if Man City are found not guilty in these charges, these 115 charges, we might as well just do what the hell we like. Because you know what? You're not going to ban us all. The Premier League, everyone, do what you like because Man City got away with it and that is it. Man City got away with it. And that is what we should do. Man City get away with it, we might as well risk it as well. That's what we need to do. If Man City get away with it. If they get away with it, what message is that going to send? How detrimental is that going to be to PGMO? How harmful is that going to be to PGMO? That, you know what, I'm waiting for that day when they get, you know what, they're trying to wiggle their way out of it. But, you know, one thing I would say, if they're not guilty, Man United, I tell you right now, show some bloody balls and go out there and do what the hell you like. Because at the end of the day, Man City get away with 115 charges. So, look, why not break a couple? Who cares? Goals for George. I've always playing at a higher level than Dorgo and not many fullbacks to keep your mouth quiet. Absolute goals for George. Bad mistake getting rid of him, but you know what? It might be a blessing in disguise that we got rid of him. He's got a lot of experience at Benfica, hasn't he? He plays every game, which is great, of course. Absolutely. Naipan at the moment, Naipan at the moment looks like he's going to Man City. Arsenal are also interested. He is in Manchester at the moment, discussing with a team. It's not Man United, so it's definitely Man City. Arsenal are also very interested. Arsenal have been interested in him for a long time. And if we miss out on Naipan, we got only ourselves to blame. Fantastic player. And we will see that coming up. And you know what? End of day, you know, this is typified by the Ineos regime at the moment. It's ridiculous. I don't know, worst decision made it. Absolutely. We made some pretty bad decisions on the Glazers and Ineos. That was a bad, desperate decision, of course, guys. Absolutely. Desperate. If Naipan goes to City, I'll be so angry. Ineos Naipan should be affordable at 10 to 17 million. Where are we in this market? Can we not afford 10 to 17 million? For goodness sake. He's a Man United fan. And what are we doing? We're just hovering around like idiots. Wait, Man City. We only could do one deal at a time. FC. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. My goodness me. It makes me so annoyed. Do you think Premier League is corrupt, Sal? Yes, Michael. Yes. Sinister as it is. I believe myself. That is a very sinister league. Yeah, it is a league that is, full of cultish behavior. Unfortunately, in England, and the referees, not only in England, but in other countries as well, the referees are very cultish. They are, a lot of them support their own football clubs. For example, if you're from Yorkshire, you're not going to like Man United. If you're from Merseyside, you're not going to like Man United. Probably if you're from London, you're not going to like Man United. And you know what? Man United are the most hated club in England. And obviously that shows majority of the time. These referees, we need to get referees from abroad. That's what we need to do to counteract that, to counter that. We need to get referees from abroad, of course. Absolutely. Ruined my weekend, that Simon Iper. Let's hope, Danny B, it's not over yet it's not over to Rafa Benitez scenes, is it? At the end of the day, it's not over. Let's hope. Let's just hope that, you know what, Jim Ratcliffe has some divine inspiration and he says, oh, Naipan's available. Let's go and get him. 16, 17 million. Let's go and get him. Let's hope that happens and something magic happens, of course, guys. I really do hope so. I absolutely think he's a fantastic player. Spinios out. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a fantastic show as usual, you legends. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video. Absolutely. That won't happen. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, mate. We're fed up with this. Already we're fed up with Ineos. For goodness sake, how many years are we going to get of Ineos now? How many years of disappointment are we going to get of Ineos? It's disgraceful at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. Big up Danny B. Big up everyone. Great show, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm Sal Warner. This is the legendary Chatbox, of course, guys. You know what? Thank you, guys. I'm well on my way to 7,000 subscribers. Thanks to you guys. Let's push it. On the road to 10K. Let's do it. We're going to grow at a rapid rate, guys, and we are going to be the realest show on the net, guys, very, very soon. We won't quit until we're up the top, guys. Don't worry about that. Absolutely not. Guys, thank you so much. I'm Sal Warner. This is Stretford Post. And don't forget to like on the way out, guys. Thank you so much. Take it easy. Have a great weekend. If we don't speak, I'll be back in the morning. If nothing else breaks, take it easy, guys. Please.